Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, you guys are in for a treat. Mike Schill.
What's going on? My name is Mike Schill, CEO of the Full Circle Agency, Miami's fastest growing marketing and advertising firm. We are located down here in the heart of Miami, Florida, and really excited at the opportunity to be on this podcast here this morning. So,
hey, it's Kellen. Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, you guys are in for a treat. And the next time you go down to Miami, you need to go meet Mike Schill. He's going to give us a game, not just on your typical, because, me being a PR guy and a consultant, I love talking to those people, but he has some other skills, some other things he's done. If I start doing this, he may know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, he played for Florida State University. And me as a new sports agent trying to get folks, more money than they had before. We are just going to fan out, talk about what he's done, what he's going to do, because he's young. So the best is yet to come. Mike, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
What's up, man? Hey, go Noles, baby, go Noles. Love the mission, love the drive, love the tenacity in regards to what it is you're doing, and excited to be part of that a little bit here this morning. So what's going on, brother? What's going on?
Well, we all got to know each other, and you have such an impact online where you put a lot of time. I mean, I have people tell me, Kellen, you need to be like Mike, right? And I'm like, but Mike put a lot of time into his stuff where I might, it's not lazy. It's just that, hey, I'm trying to figure out when's the next time we're going to Africa? Okay, what are we doing? And also, Mike, I might be 200 pounds, but Mike is 200 pounds plus with a little bit of more muscle. So it looks different, right? Because, when you have that bird chest, Mike, now let me take this shirt off. I'm on Peloton, but I'm just not on the weights like that. So I gotta give it up to you and kudos, man, for all that you're doing online. Tell the people how you're solving today's problems in business.
Man, great question. The Full Circle Agency, the primary area of focus of that marketing firm, the marketing and advertising firm, is to get brands and or businesses known, right? That is the number one problem we all have. This concept doesn't come from me. This comes from who I had the opportunity to work alongside with for half a decade, who believes in this exact same concept. And if y'all don't know who he is, it's Grant Cardone. I had the opportunity to work alongside him for about 5 years. And working alongside him, working with Fortune 1 and Fortune 500 companies, working with the small mom and pop shops that just got onboarded and started up yesterday, you begin to realize the importance of known and the importance of customer satisfaction, customers actually knowing your product and service, because without them knowing you exist, how the hell can they write you a check? So the number one problem that we solve is getting individuals known, getting brands, getting entities, getting services, and getting products known. But that's only the first problem. The second problem that we solve is staying in front of somebody who said yes once, because we all know that the second sale is easiest than the first sale. And there's a lot of missed opportunities that are left on the table each and every single day, whether it's Google, Microsoft, or Apple, or if you just started an HVAC company, as it relates to staying in front of consumers that already said yes. So number one, we're getting individuals known, getting brands, getting entities known. And then number two, man, how do we foster these relationships? And how do we continue to sell to people that already said yes to us once? Those are the two primary area of focuses, or two primary problems that we solve, and we do it damn well.
And let the people know, because what I find in this field that I've been doing for 20 plus years, that's how I earn these gray hairs, y'all. But I'm still keeping it young and fresh. Let the people know in what range before they start, emailing you. Because I still know right there in Miami, publicists who are known. And they're like, hey, I got a $500 bundle for the people. And I'm like, we open up our computers for $500, but I can't push a button for that for you. So what range before they hit you with, hey, Mike, make me famous, I heard all about you, do they need to be in? Because PR and marketing is not getting any cheaper.
It ain't. And listen, the amount of dollars you put into yourself, you put into your brand, you put into your business is directly proportional to the results that you get from yourself, your brand, and your business. We primarily focus on small and medium-sized businesses. Any business that's doing anywhere from about 3 million to about 10 million is our sweet spot. However, we are doing business with companies such as Nike, companies such as Foot Lockers, companies such as eBay, companies such as Lion Not Cheap. Those entities have an incredible market share, right? Obviously, an evaluation of a company upwards of 400 or 500 million to a couple billion in revenue and more so in evaluation. So that small to medium sized business is where we're currently segmenting. But I will say this much: we have a number of products and services. So if there is something that doesn't make sense for an individual or brand or entity, but they want to grow, who are we to tell them that no, we can't help out? Right? If one product or service doesn't make sense, well, we have coaching calls. We have downloads. We have PDS. We have other things that you can apply immediate action with and get some immediate results. So then these bigger deals are a whole lot more financially, you have a little bit more financial wherewithal. So hopefully that answers that question in totality.
Yeah, and I want to make it clear because I love that you mixed your whatever you want to call your typical business, but also the fashion, the entertainment, the sports, being a former, athlete, you're able to blend all that in. And so, somebody you mentioned Havvac, who does have a Havvac business, you too can help them with that as well, correct?
1,000%. 1,000%. We can definitely help them out. And the Full Circle Agency, one thing we're really excited about is our sports and entertainment division. We're doing some incredible work with athletes and entertainers. Not so much as far as a brand development strategy, because their platform is already at an all-time high. But when you have a platform at an all-time high and you're 25 years old, are you really tapping into it? And are you setting that platform up for long-term growth and success so you have long-term growth and financial freedom? So we're targeting those individuals. We're doing some incredible things with them as well. And I wanted to drop that in for any athlete, for any entertainer, right? Looking to get some incredible information on how to move in the marketplace or how to take advantage of investments and so on and so forth. Man, we're doing some pretty incredible things in that regard too. So
you and I have had friends. I wish I could say team members, but you for sure. I've had friends, childhood friends. They enter the league. You go to the, whatever the professional, whether it's here at the Raiders, that I'm an Oakland Raider, whatnot, or, they go to Europe. What do you think athletes, and I guess you could also throw musicians as well, what are they not getting in, their training, in their come up? Because we're still seeing people retire broke, the majority. And at least for me, I'll tell you how I work. I tell my clients, you won't be broke if you follow this advice, because we're going to get you with the people. And if you follow their advice that they went to school for, you're going to have your index funds. And people say, what's an index fund? And I'm like, you got a $300,000 car out here. You need to know what an index fund, what a solo 401k, you need to know everything. So what are we not doing? Or what is universities not doing, or even the community, where the people who are some people are making 6 figures a month, but they're not getting that financial literacy? Like, how do we solve that problem?
Well, you're tapping on the head, man. It's like the financial literacy and the financial education, business acumen, some of these people don't even know how to open up an LLC. You know what I'm saying? But they can also throw 45 yards in front of millions of people on TV and get the job done. So it has nothing to do with incompetence. It has everything to do with, number one, are they receiving the knowledge? Who's delivering it? And then number two, are they understanding? So it's one thing to receive knowledge, but it's another thing to actually put it to practice and understand. So I have this conversation with a number of athletes, right? I do an Instagram live every single week. We bring guys, massive names on the Instagram live. You can go check it out on my Instagram if you want to see. We have this exact conversation, and here's the deal. When you are at an all-time high as it pertains to operating in the sports and the entertainment industry, that's a damn job. And that job is not 8 hours. That job is not 10 hours. That job is 24/7, 365, because there's always someone younger, always someone faster, always someone stronger that's coming after your throat. And so oftentimes it's the time. There may be no time, right? Or they necessarily don't accredit specific time to learn something new, because all they know is the thing that they know, the thing that they've been doing for 25 to 30 years. So if I couple, I've got to dedicate 15, 16, 17 hours to this one thing, the thing that I've been doing for 25 years, and the other 4, 5, 6 hours is sleep. Well, what do we got? So it's identifying schedules, actually implementing time within everybody's schedule to learn the things that, if you don't learn, will cost you millions. That literally is the number one thing, man. That's the number one thing, because if you were 25, where would your attention be every single day? My intention would be, man, how do I get bigger, faster, and stronger so I can go ahead and make 25 million for my family? Mm-hmm. That's it.
But you did it, and you read the books like 10X. We gotta Grant. You read those books and shown how don't always use this cell. This is a Hail Mary, since we're talking football and sports. But what do you think made you different, where you picked up some other knowledge? Was it while you were still playing, or was it after the fact?
Great question, man. I will say this much. It was the environment that I was in at a young age, to be real with you. They say you're a product of your environment. I'm a believer of that, but I'm also not a believer that you have the ability to change anything that you want to change, man. Just because you come from the hood don't mean you got to stay in the hood. You don't have to. That's a choice. But from a very young age, father and mother put a primary area of focus on education. Education is key. Now, what also happened at a very young age is we moved around a lot. Now, when you look back on that, moving around a lot, it develops one skill set. The skill set that it develops is it allows for you to acclimate in any specific environment that you're put into. So then you fast forward 10 years and you're playing at a very, very high level. Okay, well, I'm in the locker room. I can obviously acclimate to that. But man, what about the boardroom? What about the individual that just wrote a university $70 million and you're sitting next to that guy? Well, how you communicate with Buddy is a whole different ballgame than how you communicate with the guys in the locker room. So if you don't understand how to acclimate, there's a window of opportunity. And then I would say that the third thing while playing the sport is realizing that, man, the sport is only a small part of your life. So you can't rely on something so small to provide financial wherewithal and freedom for something much larger, right? I'm focused on Schill. I'm focused on my last name. I'm developing my last name. Now, ball and sports is part of my last name, but that ain't only my last name. My last name never ends. So those are the things. Those are the things that I feel play a role in who I am today. And again, we're just getting started, man. We're on chapter 1 of chapter like 147. We're just getting the ball rolling, bro. This ain't nothing yet.
Yeah. The best is yet to come. Yeah. And, usually what happens with us entrepreneurs who think outside the box, I don't even want to be buried in a box in 79 plus years, don't even put me in that thing. But what other businesses are you thinking of, or have you already started as well? Or are you just mainly focused right now on Full Circle?
Great question. So I am focused. I am 100% focused on Full Circle at this point in time. I think that that's one of the things that prevents a lot of individuals from doing incredible things. You've got to be focused on one thing, and you've got to perfect that one thing. You have to. If my thoughts are convoluted and I'm here and I'm there, well then I can't necessarily push at an all-time high in one specific thing. So the goal is to get the Full Circle agency to be a $500 million company with an exit of 7 times that via EBITDA, right? And then and only then do I get involved in other aspects and other features of life, right? Now, within the Full Circle agency, there are 2 departments. There's the business side, and then there's the sports and entertainment side. Eventually, I want the sports and entertainment side to be its own entity and its own brand, and grow that to the number 1 sports agency, right, in the entire planet. But where I have most mind and market share right now is the marketing and advertising. That's the entry point. And this thing has been figured out. This is not just shooting at a hip. This is dialed in. This has been drawn out, and this is the route that I'm going. That's it.
Now, here's going to be, I'm forming the question in my head as we speak, because when you look at, what was it? You might be too young to remember Atlas, whatever that HBO show where he was a sports agent.
Yeah.
And then you look at what The Rock did on HBO more recently. I cut the cord. I haven't seen every episode of
Ballers, yep.
Ballers, yeah. And so when you see things like that, you have to have so many loyal people that, stay with you and say, you know what, Mike making all this money, making it look good, spending time with, his family. And ladies, I'm not saying he's married or has kids. I don't know that. We're going to get to that. But, do you have those yet?
Not married. Got a young king though. My man. That's the man.
Okay.
That's Mike Jr., man. That's Mike Jr., baby.
Okay, so if you ladies come correct and make sure you know that. But you have to have so many loyal people to make that happen, where we're getting into a time where, everybody wants to be the HNIC, whatever that N is for y'all, head negotiator in charge, however you want it to be. But like, where do you vision that, like, how to keep people humble and with you, where they try to run off with the plug? Let me just be free. These folks nowadays, oh, Kelly, you took me to this whatever show, and then they want to run with the plug and think they can do it better, and they always come back.
They always. You said it yourself, man. Listen, you can want to go do something. You know how many people have the playbook to do incredible things and have yet to do it over the past 30, 40 years, because there's that it factor. There's that grind, there's that work mode, there's that thing that I rely on from sports that man, hey, some people haven't had access to it. So some people may not understand what it really takes, man. Like, so whatever. I'm not even worried about somebody taking an idea, because again, I'm Mike Schill, man. It's about what's on my back. Ain't nobody me. Number one. Number two, listen, the person that got you to 20 million may not be the person that gets you to 200. I'm not necessarily worried about having the exact same type of executives and staff around me in 5 years, because, man, people have a cap. People have a cap. There's people that only know algebra. And then there's people that know algebra and trigonometry. And then there's people that understand all that stuff and they go all the way to Calc 4. And then there's mathematicians that understand everything. So if in the entry level, though, you only learn algebra, if I only stay with people that only know algebra and I don't get those people out of my ring, but still provide them with value and still respect them and getting a new breed of people, then I physically can't grow. So it's all about having the right individuals around you with the right mindset. Obviously, you're going to have your core 1 to 2 to 3 people that are with you from through and through. But man, I already know that the conversations that I'm having today aren't going to be the same conversation I'm having five years from today. And with that being said, people change. It's the nature of the game. That's it.
Definitely. They definitely change. And there's definitely, some great young talent. Now with this web, 3.0 and folks like Tony Robbins, Grant might also be on this list. People are doing their AI now. So when they transition, they're still here and still able to give an opinion. Where do you see yourself with, this new technology and everybody creating a metaverse every day, and it's exciting stuff. I'm a big tech nerd, CES, got to run to those type of events. So where do you see your company taking that? Because you might just be cloning yourself at the end of the day.
Shit, I'll tell you what. Listen, I'll say this much. You're right in the sense, hey, man, we may be all holograms here in 80 years. Who knows? You never know. But where we are going to go as a brand is where it's hot. But we're going to rely on assessing what's hot based on our core pillars and the principles as a business. So something may be hot today, but it may not be hot tomorrow, right? And then you have things such as, and listen, it is what it is, man, but I'm a firm believer in real estate. Then you have things that have been here since before Jesus that ain't going anywhere, right? So it's just a matter of, okay, are you aligning with something that is in alignment with who you are, who your brand is, and what your business represents? And then what's the sustainability, man? I can either get on a wave that lasts for a few seconds or be part of an ocean that lasts for eternity. That's how I'm assessing. That's literally how I'm assessing everything. So there's a lot of things that get thrown at us. Hey, go this route. Hey, go that route. Get involved in this. Hey, get involved in that. Yeah, I love that. But man, I'm focused on what is been here, what is going to be here, and what will always be here. And that right there is the essence of rooting something into eternity. And I'm trying to develop something that will be here for eternity, man. That's just what it is.
Amen. Now, with clients, are there any courses that you run clients or even maybe the general public that they can buy courses from you just so they can, you don't have to keep repeating yourself over and over. If you say, hey, check this out. Here's the package. Yeah. So you have that available.
We do have that available. We have ebooks. We have video downloads, right? We have stuff that obviously is duplicatable and replicatable on our behalf, right? So we don't have to necessarily do it every single second. And the content is incredible. But I will say that we're constantly evolving the content because what worked in the marketing and advertising game a year and a half ago, it may not work today.
Yeah.
It doesn't work today. It's constantly evolving. So the biggest thing is making sure that the data that we have, the information that we're delivering is equally dynamic as it relates to the economy that it's about, as it relates to the consuming population, the consuming tendencies, and where people search for information. We need to make sure we're in alignment with that. So do we have that stuff? Absolutely. But I do want to let you know that you ain't going to get the stuff and it's going to be talking about 2017 either. We're going to constantly update because, hey, if we're not constantly updated, we get left behind.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I'm a big let's know who you are by knowing what your past is. Let's take a trip to Africa. Let's do your AfricanAncestry.com. I'm an international, guy. I like to do business everywhere I go. Where, do you have an Africa plan yet? Because the NBA already in Africa now, NFL, they're flirting with having a game in Ghana in 2023. It's not, sure. Like, have you looked into, the continent as an expansion?
1,000%. I think it's one of the most untapped markets that we have here today and throughout the world. I was in France maybe about a week ago. Was with an individual who is rooted in Africa. And we were literally talking about some expansion efforts as it relates to real estate over in Africa. Do I have a very, very, very high passion to pour information, to pour opportunity into that region? 1,000%. 1000%. That's the essence. That's where we come from. And I mean, if we didn't do that, I feel that we would be unethical to our human selves. And then I also know this much: in order for me to have the biggest amount of impact, I need to be touching a ton of lives right now. So what I'm doing today isn't for today. It's for 10 years from today, to when I'm global and I'm everywhere, and I have the ability to say something and it gets done. I have the ability to push a button and something happens. And we have the ability to change lives of millions and millions and millions of people. So short answer, absolutely. Absolutely. And we already have eyeballs on that. And there's some pretty cool things coming around in that channel as well. So for sure. For sure.
Good stuff. You know, making progress, making profit is great when it's aligned with your purpose. Tell the people, though, what is a community give back that you're doing or that you would like to do in the future?
Yeah, so the community give back that, is already happening is giving back to the young up and coming individuals. And what I mean by that is, the individuals are currently in grade school and middle school. Obviously, the less fortunate, the underprivileged. We're making a push into the foster care space, being adopted. Obviously, relate to those people on a very, very personal level. And I think that the trajectory of life it's not always dictated by the beginning part of your life, but the beginning part of your life has a very, 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 very plays rather a very important role in what the opportunities are in the future. So the more we can dial in on that adolescent piece, the higher probability later on in life goes this way as opposed to that way. And so, yeah, we're doing some things there, and we continue to do some things there. And I really want to. One of the goals that I write down every single day is to help 10 million foster kids find homes, right? And that's something that I will do. And it's just part of the why. It just has to happen. So, yeah.
That's a big thing. I've worked from the group homes to the psych wards to the government, looking at children's protective services. It's a big issue, especially with Black and brown communities, especially, because families have just been broken up. But even white folks, families, even with people coming from money. I mean, something in Babylon nowadays is just like breaking up families. You got people here in Florida making $80,000 going to the food bank. Same thing in Seattle. There's something where the families, it's so much. I don't know if it's y'all stunting on Instagram. I don't know if, and on TikTok doing the dance and all that, and they all look the same. But that's just me. Again, being older, right? I can say that now. I want you to teach somebody right now who's battling. I've known so many people, and on a very small level, went through it myself. When you're done playing college ball, when you're done playing any sport, and you were at a high level with yours, I mean, we would see the Seminoles and see y'all racing down, let me not fall in the pool, but y'all were fast for real. For real, them intercepts, oh man, and you just want to get into it. When you stopped playing, you had to have gone through a down period. And how did you kick out of that to get to where you're at now? Was it therapy? Was it prayer? Like, what did you do?
Good question. Listen, that identity thing is big. And when you stop playing the sport that you've done for so long, and everybody knows you for that sport and performing in that sport, and that sport is tagged to your name, and then it's no longer something you do. You think that you've lost your identity. And so to overcome that, I was just talking with the pro basketball player about this, Miss Coach Amber Jones, about this about a week ago. And so, how I overcame it was, number one, when I was in the mix, I was prepping for when I was done with the mix. That's number one. And then number two, when you jump into something realize that if you use the same skill sets that you use while playing sports, it's inevitable that you win. Listen, just because you don't play sports doesn't mean you don't use the same things that you use in sports in that new thing. You're just playing a different sport, and it's a bigger sport. It's a way more important sport than football or basketball or hockey or whatever it is, right? It's called the sport of life. And the individuals that play at a high level, guess what you got? You just got access to a playbook that allows for you to understand how to play life. So after sport, I just figured, okay, well, I'm playing a bigger game now. I'm playing a bigger game, and there's way more competition. Way more competition. And so what can I get into? What can I get into that is alignment with who I am, with what I know, that I can provide that same, or that I can attach that same type of, those same type of characteristics as you do when you're playing the sport. The other thing, of course, is prayer. Prayer is everything. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care what you believe in. Obviously, that prayer thing is big, and a ton of prayer went into that. And then also, listen, stay in the gym, stay in the track. Listen, I hit the track every single day, repeat 200s, repeat 400s, repeat 800s, speed and acceleration drills. Man, I'm out there sweating, right? I'm out there sweating an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And then in the morning, I'm lifting. I'm lifting early, like that. If you keep that push in your life, well, then the void it isn't so big. So those are the three things. Those are the three things that I did. And man, honestly, those are the three things that I continue to do. Otherwise, you're right, I would go nuts. 100%.
Okay, and you guys heard him say prayer. Now, I care who you pray to, because some of y'all praying to yourself and the Lucifer himself, saying, Lucifer, please get me out of this one. And it's falling on. Lucifer's not there to help you. He's there to get you in some nonsense. Ask R. Kelly. Ask Epstein. He's there, he's there to get you into some trouble, not out of it. But you'll learn one way or the other. Let the people know how they best can connect with you. For all the ladies out there, I don't want you hitting the DMs. Hit me. Let me do a proper introduction. I'm the day doctor for marriages here. I'm trying to get number 5 so I can actually, as ordained, can do the marriage, right? So let the people know, how they can connect with you in any other services, maybe even your next book or course that's coming out, where they can get that now.
Absolutely, man. Hey, listen, anybody and everybody can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Mike, Mike, Schill, S as in Sam, C as in cat, H as in hat, ILL as in Larry _ right? You can check me out at Michael, Michael, Schill, Michael Schill on LinkedIn. You can hit the website, the full FULL circle.io, right? Or man, just shoot me an email, Mike at thefullcircle.io, right? And as far as what we have to offer, we just rolled out an incredible course, quick course, ebook type style, as it relates to the 4 things you need to know to go viral with video content on social media, right? For any individual that reaches on out, right, via this thing, we'll go ahead and get that ebook on over to you free of cost, right? It's on the house, very simple, incredible information there. And we're constantly putting those things out, but that is literally the most recent one that went live, I think about a week ago. We're getting some incredible feedback on it, and we're getting some people that are winning on it by implementing 1 or 2 or 3 of those strategies. So you can find me there. That's the latest thing we have to offer. And then anything and everything as it relates to marketing and advertising, website development, website optimization, automation, content creation, right? Ad management, right? Anything, paid media, we got you covered. We got a team. Believe it or not, my man, we got a team that is responsible for almost $1 billion in sales over the past 3.5 years. That's just the past 3.5 years. So we got a team that'll get you right. It's just a matter of reaching on out and seeing if there's some synergy and how we align. So
you guys have gotten the game. No matter if you're listening on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, our latest partner at AYV Radio in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Maybe Namibia is still playing us, and picking us up. Wherever you got this game, are the minority of you who, let the YouTube numbers kick up. Let it do its thing. You guys, this is real game. My people aren't telling you, go max out your credit cards, put it on your debit card so you can act like you're rich. Mike is giving you plans and strategies so you can get rich, stay rich, and get on your way to wealth. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share this game. It will change somebody's life. Be blessed.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand or 10,000 Kenyan shillings or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kelly Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.